2 people are dead and 3 others injured in a Winchester car crash. Coming up, we'll explain why the man who caused the deadly wreck is not facing any charges.
We are live at the scene of an active investigation here on Gerald Drive in the Winburn community, where police received a call about a possible meth lab this morning. I'm Andrea Walker. We'll have the latest in just a few moments.
That's another fantastic day. This is perfect weather today. Tomorrow's really not all that bad either, but Friday into your weekend, it changes big time, temperature-wise and sky condition-wise. I'm going to talk both about those coming up.
This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon from WKYT News. I'm Barbara Bailey.
I'm Bill Bryant. Here's what's happening at noon. 2 women are dead and another is fighting for her life here at midday after a late night crash in central Kentucky. It happened around 10 o'clock last night at the bypass in Colby Road in Winchester.
State police say an elderly man crashed into 2 vehicles, killing the driver and a passenger in one of the cars. 3 others were hurt, including one critically. WKYT's Mark Barber is in Clark County to tell us why the man will not be charged. It's our top story at noon. Mark.
Police say this terrible crash appears to be a terrible accident. Officers say an elderly man was blinded by headlights, so he did not see the 2 cars in front of him, waiting on a red light. 2 women were killed in the first car he hit. Sarah Helfrich, a 62-year-old from Richmond, was the driver of that car. Her passenger, 35-year-old Juanetta Mitchell of Berea, was also killed. A 3rd woman in that car was rushed to UK hospital in critical condition. The driver who caused the crash and a woman in the 2nd car he hit were also hurt, but they're expected to be okay. The deadly crash happened at the intersection of the Winchester bypass and Colby Road around 10 last night. Witnesses told police they thought the wreck happened because 2 drivers were racing. Officers think it may have appeared there was a drag race because the elderly man was driving 55 miles per hour when he crashed into the 2 cars.
It's very horrific. One was ejected. You just hate to go to those types of calls, and you never know what you're going to come up on, but this is one of the worst case scenarios you could have.
While investigators do not think the man who caused the crash will be charged, they say they are still going to run some blood tests on him to see if he was driving under the influence. They tell me they're going to do that out of an abundance of caution, since this was such a serious crash. In Winchester, Mark Barber, WKYT.
State police tell us it could take 6 to 8 months to receive those toxicology results. We now know the name of a man killed in a crash in Casey County on his birthday. It happened after 6:30 last night on Poplar Hill Road near Liberty. Police say Donald Crozier, who turned 42 yesterday, ran off the road and hit a tree. Crozier was the only one in the car and was pronounced dead at the scene. Alcohol and speed are considered factors in the crash.
A hazmat investigation is underway right now in Lexington. Hazmat crews were called out to an apartment on Gerald Drive off Winburn Drive just after 8 o'clock this morning for the report of a strong odor coming from a suspected meth lab. WKYT's Andrea Walker is at the scene now with the latest.
All right, as you can see, there is still a very active investigation taking place behind me here on Gerald Drive in the Winburn community. Details are still a little limited at this point, but here's what we know so far. The call came into Lexington police around 8 o'clock this morning about a possible meth lab at 1817 Gerald Drive. Now, when we arrived on the scene, at least 5 fire trucks and multiple other emergency vehicles were on the scene. A short time later, firefighters started putting on their hazmat suits to investigate.
Our initial report was for investigation of a chemical odor, and subsequent to that, we found indications that someone may have been manufacturing methamphetamine inside of the apartment.
Here on Gerald Drive have been evacuated while the investigation is underway. Police say no arrests have been made at this time, but they are actively working on obtaining search warrants as we speak. Reporting live in Lexington, Andrea Walker, WKYT.
Andrea, thank you. Now, because of that ongoing situation, Gerald Drive is expected to be closed for several more hours.
Certainly, it is a picture-perfect spring day in the Bluegrass with plenty of sunshine and mild temperatures. But the heat and humidity will be working their way back in for the weekend. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live in our First Alert Weather Center now with a look ahead. Micah.
Yeah, it all depends on where you are today. We're there in the upper 60s to lower 70s across the region. 68 in Mount Sterling and my friends back toward Moorhead and Lakeview Heights. You go just south of that into places like Menifee County, Frenchburg, and also Morgan County, West Liberty, holding on to the upper 60s. Then go down towards Somerset, the Lake Cumberland region. It's 72 degrees there, and Somerset feels really good outside. Now, planning ahead the rest of the afternoon and evening, this is great for cookout plans. I mean, hot dogs, hamburgers, anything you can throw there on the grill, do it. The kids will be outside playing all afternoon long and into the evening, as that sun really doesn't set until late into the 8 p.m. hour. So we're going to be watching these next couple of days almost perfect weather. But that's now. Later on, very steamy and also some rumbles of thunder in the forecast. I'm going to show you where those rumbles are in your 7-day in just about 10 minutes.
Micah, we'll see you then. Thank you. Lexington City Council is trying to make some changes to Mayor Jim Gray's $345 million budget proposal. According to the Herald Leader, the biggest change would be an additional 0.5% raise for city employees. That would bump up the raises to 3.5%. If the budget is given a final approval next week, that pay raise would be taking effect on July 1st.
Get low and go. That's the message the Lexington Fire Department is giving to some local children. This midday, firefighters will be set up outside Gaddytown on Nicholasville Road until 3 o'clock this afternoon, providing fire safety tips, hands-only CPR classes, and other demonstrations. The event is free for children and their families.
Well, memorials for legendary boxer Muhammad Ali will be tomorrow and Friday in Louisville, and there are indications the crowds will be huge. Thousands
of fans started lining up last night for those tickets, and because of the demand, organizers decided to distribute them early. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is at the live desk now with details. Michelle?
Barbara, the lines were so long this morning that all 15,000 tickets were given out an hour before doors were even scheduled to be open. Here's video from this morning. Thousands stood outside the KFC Yum Center to get their free first-come, first-served tickets to Muhammad Ali's memorial service on Friday. Now, people lined up as early as midnight just to get in line this morning at 6 o'clock to pay their final respects to the greatest.
Quick, it was a little rough there. There was some pushing and shoving and, and bickering, but, once everybody got in line in front of the box office, they kind of calmed down.
Now, some of the free ticket holders have already gone online to try and sell their tickets. We found a pair of tickets on Craigslist for $500. The doors at the KFC Yum Center will open at 11:30 a.m. Friday for his memorial service. Attendees are advised to show up as early as possible. The service is scheduled to run from 2 to 4. The KFC Yum Center is set to live stream the service outside the arena on a jumbotron for those unable to get tickets this morning. Now, as of last check, there are still tickets available for Thursday Islamic funeral prayer service at Freedom Hall. Also today, the I Am Ali Festival is underway until 4 o'clock at the Kentucky Center in Louisville. It's a way for kids to celebrate Muhammad Ali's life. At the live desk, Michelle Chamberlain, back to you.
Michelle, thank you. We'll be streaming Ali's memorial service from the KFC Yum Center Friday afternoon on WKYT.com. And we're also planning to carry it live right here on WKYT starting at 2 o'clock.
Stay with WKYT for the latest on that. Well, Democrat Hillary Clinton is feeling good about the results from last night's big Super Tuesday, the last one of the campaign in this cycle. Find out what this means for her challenger, Bernie Sanders, coming up on Kentucky's #1 Midday News.
Also ahead, Bristol Palin and Kentucky native Dakota Meyer are hinting that they might be getting back together. We'll tell you about the latest signs of a rekindled romance next on WKYT. Welcome back to WKYT News at noon. Hillary Clinton is claiming the Democratic nomination and a bit of history, while Bernie Sanders mulls his options.
Craig Boswell has the latest from the campaign trail.
Hillary Clinton picked up wins in 4 of the 6 states that voted Tuesday and broke barriers in the process.
First time in our nation's history that a woman will be a major party's nominee.
In an emotional speech, she remembered her mother, Dorothy Rodham, who was born the day the 19th Amendment was ratified, giving women the right to vote. She then turned her sights to Donald Trump.
When he says, "Let's make America great again," That is code for let's take America backwards.
Bernie Sanders roused his supporters with promises to fight on.
We take our fight for social, economic, racial, and environmental justice to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
But Sanders is flying home to Vermont today, where he says he'll assess the situation. He has a meeting with President Obama at the White House tomorrow to talk about how to advance the agenda he's pushed throughout the campaign.
Hello.
Donald Trump delivered a more subdued primary night speech, complete with a teleprompter.
I will never, ever let you down.
Trump is still taking heat for questioning a federal judge's ability to preside over a lawsuit against Trump University because of the judge's Mexican heritage, something even House Speaker Paul Ryan denounced as racist. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
And U.S. District Judge Gonzalo Curiel has set a schedule for the hearings in the two class action lawsuits alleging that Donald Trump and Trump University committed consumer fraud and other corrupt practices. Those hearings will take place during the Republican National Convention in July. And there is no such word as unendorsement, but it apparently has happened to Donald Trump. Republican Senator Mark Kirk of Illinois says he no longer supports the presumptive Republican nominee. Kirk says he pulled his endorsement because of Trump's comment that the federal judge handling the Trump University fraud lawsuit is biased because he is a Mexican American. Well, it appears that Kentucky native Johnny Depp's estranged wife, who has accused the actor of domestic violence, may know a little something about the subject herself.
TMZ is reporting that Amber Heard was arrested in 2009 for hitting her then-girlfriend at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. However, both women lived in California at the time, so the prosecutor could not move forward with the case, and Heard was let go with a warning. Heard filed for divorce from Depp late last month and filed a restraining order against him. Bristol Palin and Medal of Honor recipient Dakota Meyer are sparking rumors that they're back together. In a picture shared on the Kentucky native's Instagram, the couple is smiling in a close embrace, and Palin appears to be wearing a diamond ring on her left hand. The pair, who share a 5-month-old daughter, Sailor Grace, announced their engagement in March of last year, but called off their wedding days before walking down the aisle. The couple shares joint custody of the baby girl, and earlier this month, Palin agreed to have the baby's last name changed to Meyer.
Toyota celebrated a huge milestone today, but it wasn't just all about the car company. How the car company is giving back.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It is a pretty easy forecast for today. We get into the afternoon, we'll be in the 70s for virtually all locations, and also looking at mostly sunny skies, so all is well the rest of the day. We are looking around the area, and I just don't see much going on. 68 degrees now in Jackson. You're getting a mixture of sun and clouds. Frankfurt, mostly sunny skies. You go into the London-Corbin area, Lexington, work your way down 68 by Lebanon and Marion County, Loretto. All looks well there. Raywick, just south of that. It looks good, man. Anywhere you look, this is just a nice afternoon. And we'll stay at 74 later on today. Less humidity in the forecast, a lot of sunshine. Then we head off into the evening hours. Good cookout plans is perfect for that. Overnight and into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, you'll wake up. It might be a little cool for you tomorrow morning. Upper 40s, lower 50s expected right as that sun starts to rise. But once you get in the 8, 9, 10 a.m. hour, it'll feel great once again. 75 degrees at 1 p.m. tomorrow. And kind of put that in perspective, we're at 71 today at 1 p.m. So it's just slightly warmer. Not that much warmer, but it does get much warmer as we head throughout the next few days after that. So let's talk about this. As fronts move south, we're getting the winds out of the north and northwest. That's helping us out with that drier air. The H, the big dome of higher pressure we love to see heading our direction, it does. And it moves actually right overhead tomorrow. And once that happens, you'll get plenty of sunshine after this with that drier air filtering on in. And also those temperatures right there in the 70s. Now it's closing in on 80 degrees, but we won't really reach the 80s until we hit Friday and into your weekend. And not just the 80s. We're talking possibly 90 degrees there on Saturday. So a steamy Saturday, but at least we're dry, right? And we'll also have big events going on. The events in the morning hours are the best events or the best timing for those events. You got the Beer Cheese Festival over in Winchester. You got a lot of things going on there in Paris, a lot of races going on in Paris, including that half marathon there on Saturday morning. And it's great weather for it, but it's going to be humid, I promise you that. By the afternoon, you're at 90 degrees. At least you're dry, right? Then we hit Sunday. Still, it's pretty humid, pretty muggy, and still pretty warm. But you also get that small chance of rain in the forecast at about 30%. So it's definitely no washout. And there's really no chance at a washout anytime soon. Guys, we're looking today, tomorrow, fantastic. Friday, that 30% chance of rain. It's really for northern Kentucky. That's your best bet as of right now. We'll see where that front is located, because that's your warm front that's going to be moving through and sparking up a couple of rumbles of thunder. But then when it gets north of us, yeah, you're talking 90 degrees on Saturday. Wow. So the heat's coming, but until then, it's really nice the next 48 hours.
Sounds good. We had enough washouts in May.
Yes, we did. Absolutely right.
Thank you.
Yeah, coming back on WKYT in just a moment, a big blow for the Wildcat football program.
Well, Kentucky basketball is #1 again. Dave Baker's next with sports.
And let's check stocks as we head into afternoon trading. The Dow sitting just below the 18,000 mark here at midday.
Nobody loves their basketball like Wildcat fans, and they've proven it again, leading the nation in average home attendance. UK led all schools in the NCAA with an average of 23,361 per game. It's the 18th time in the last 21 years Kentucky has led the country in average home attendance. Since Rupp Arena opened back in 1976, Kentucky's ranked either first or second in average home attendance every season. Cats have averaged more than 23,000 fans at Rupp in 6 of John Calipari's 7 seasons. And you may be surprised to know that the SEC was the #2 conference in overall basketball attendance in the country. Well, the Toronto Raptors' Dwayne Casey confirmed at a news conference yesterday that the two sides have, in fact, agreed to a 3-year contract extension. We told you about it last week. It goes through the 2018-2019 season. It's a reported $18 million over the life of the deal. Casey led Toronto to a franchise record 56 wins and a conference finals berth. Casey said, quote, "We're not there yet. There's still work to be done, improvement from coaching to playing, all areas we can get better in, and that's what they're trying to do." Tough deal for UK football last night, and another blow to the once heralded recruiting class of 2017. 4-star quarterback Mac Jones, who had been committed to UK for almost a year, has flipped his commitment to Alabama. In a note posted to his Twitter account, Jones said, "I'd like to thank the University of Kentucky for recruiting me. However, an opportunity of a lifetime has presented itself to my family and me. I'm happy to say I'll continue my football and academic career at the University of Alabama. I am 100% committed. Roll Tide." Lafayette's Walker Wood, now the only QB committed to Kentucky for 2017. And finally, earlier this year, Kentucky toe-to-toe with Auburn in women's softball. Last night, Tigers trying to keep Oklahoma from winning another national championship. Sooners led 7-0, but that shot in the bottom of the 4th by Casey Cooper, 2-run shot. It's good for a 2-run homer, ties it at 7. All right, now to the top of the 6th. Same score, 2 outs, a runner on. How about Shea Knighton deep? But that's Tiffany Howard, who goes over the wall for the grab. It's still 7-7. Same score, bottom of the 8th, bases full. Emily Carasoni. That's a walk-off grand slam for Carasoni. Gus Malzahn, the football coach. Bruce Pearl, the basketball coach, there in the stands. They be loving it. That walk-off grand slam homer forced a deciding Game 3 tonight. Auburn wins it by a count of 11-7. And tonight on the Big Blue Insider with Dick Gabriel, Alex Faulkner of the Cat's Paws will talk about quarterback Mac Jones and his decision to say no to Kentucky and yes to Alabama. That's all coming up at 6 on 630 WLAP. Guys, that's a look at sports on this Wednesday.
All right, Dave, thank you so much. Hope you'll keep it here on WKYT. A lot more news coming up in our next half hour.
Police are hoping newly released surveillance pictures will help them catch the suspects who robbed a Lexington jewelry store.
I'm Victor Puente in Lexington, where testimony continues in the Mark Taylor murder trial. Coming up at 12:30, we'll tell you what happened to the car that police say Alex Johnson was murdered in.
And tonight's Powerball jackpot is $123 million. Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $280 million.